a realization that you've had come to you throughout this whole process?
Well, recently, um, I'll just tell you about my most recent one because we were talking about mental silence and
Mm,
detaching from emotions and thoughts and realizing that you are not your emotions and thoughts. And one thing that I've usually struggled with is compulsive eating since I was a kid. And that's really just like a smaller manifestation of the larger problem, which is repairing, my self image, putting to rest the old stories, and stopping self sabotage, right?
mm,
Because like usually when I try to cut weight, I get down to like 75 kilos, and then for whatever reason I feel some kind of anxiety, and then I just fucking eat a lot, and then I go back up to where I was before, and it's just back down, back up again, back down, back up again. And, I realized that the eating is really not the root issue. It's really like the emotion that I'm trying to cover it up with. But then I really started thinking with the whole, like detaching from your thoughts and emotions. I thought, hey, wait a minute. I am not my cravings. I am not my cravings. Like I'm craving something right now. That's not me. That's a sensation. Which, and because it's not me, it means I don't have to satisfy it. It
mm.
means that it's just going to pass. So that craving is not me. That compulsion is not me. Whatever it is I'm feeling, it's not me. I'm feeling it, yes, but it's not me. I am not it. I am that which makes the decision. I am that which observes, but I am not that sensation.
Okay, and that's an amazing realization. Like I personally haven't really struggled with that. And so I want to know, how has this course helped you to arrive at that conclusion?
I think because it really made me feel what it's like to be detached and to just see your emotions and your thoughts coming and going, but not really being a part of that. And I know that all of that is a path to that thing we talked about, mental silence. It's experiencing it, I believe, helped me arrive at that conclusion because I felt it, or rather I detached from feeling and from thinking, and I was like, oh, that's yeah, that's my thought process, that's my emotions, but I'm distanced from them, you
Right.
know?
And that's the juice, right? Is when you have an actual living experience. It's one
Right,
thing to talk about, hey, you should detach and this is how you do it. And I'm
right,
sure there's lots of books and gurus and guides who talk about that, but you had a living experience of detachment.
right.
And so that's beautiful. Um, so coming into this course, what were some of the problems that you were dealing with, that kind of like led you to want to join this course?
Some of the problems. Well, let me
I
name
mean,
a
you talked
couple.
about compulsive eating already. You talked
Right.
about that, but what else were you struggling with?
Well, just putting to rest, yeah, putting to rest self-sabotage, or rather stopping self-sabotage through recognizing the old stories that I tell myself that are not true now. Maybe they were true back then, but like I've changed. So they're not true now. And it's just recognizing it, seeing it, detaching from it, and saying, hey, maybe that's how things used to be, or maybe that's how I thought things used to be back then, but that's just not true now. And I
Mm,
am free to conceive of myself in a new way. And another big thing was um, a huge thing I actually had throughout this course, and maybe around like the beginning of the course too, because we had our coaching sessions, was self-love. Just reframing things through like self-love and self-abuse. And of course, self-love encompasses many things. It encompasses discipline, but it also encompasses forgiveness and self-acceptance and forgiveness and reassurance and encouragement, and sometimes a kick in the ass, when when I'm not doing what I need to do by my own definitions.
right, right. So what would you say was the role of like this energetic awakening in that? Because before we did have some coaching sessions,
All
and
right.
we arrived in a very kind of mental space of self-acceptance and self-love. So what was different or unique about the energetic experience of
Right.
that through the Kundalini awakening?
That's a good question. So I got 3 points to address from that. One is being more aware of my left channel, which is kind of the I guess you would say like maybe the inner feminine side.
Mm-hmm.
I know that most men have pretty like mediocre to poor relationships with their inner feminine. And for me, I've had a pretty troubled relationship with the inner feminine. So it's like I've neglected the inner feminine, or I've had this tense relationship, but my right channel, like I guess you would say the masculine side, like I've used that so much
Mm-hmm.
to the point that it got burnt out, you know? So it's just relieving the pressure on the right side by stop running away from the left side, the left channel, and just open myself up, explore that, and see what's going on. And the second point is, yeah, relying less on my right side, my right channel, because I've seen so many things through the lens of, it's got to be about strength, about sizing other people up, sizing myself up. Oh, I'm not adequate because I'm not doing this. I need to be stronger. I need to do this or do that. And it's just relieving the pressure from my right channel, exploring and embracing the left channel, and just getting them more in balance, which is really where they should be.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so for those who are listening right now and you're like, what the heck is a left channel? What the heck is a right channel? In this course, we are doing meditation and energy work. So I'm showing everyone in this course the different channels of the body, and everyone has a left channel and a right channel and a central channel. The practical kind of tools and techniques that we've gone over, what would you say is one of the biggest takeaways that you'll have from this course?
I think I believe that the raising the Kundalini and the Bandhan, that thing we do at the beginning and end of each meditation session, I think that, I mean, if you want to talk about it from like a pure, I guess, habit, science heavy perspective, I think doing that in the morning, kind of, it's just a habit. It forms a habit, and it kind of lets, the brain know like, hey, okay, the day is starting. Or before I'm about to do before I do my work, I always make sure to do that in addition to affirmations as well. And that kind of primes my brain to be like, hey, I'm about to start some work. Or if I'm about to do something like, or if I'm about to like start my other job, or about to do something that I know is going to take a lot of like mental work, it's just priming the brain to be like, hey, we're about to do something. So I think it really helps to focus and center the brain before doing some kind of strenuous work. So yeah,
Great.
I think that definitely has its practical uses.
Like to say about this course, or just any other last minute kind of realizations or aha moments that you've had, or just anything?
It's funny that you say that. I was actually during our last session when we were meditating, and no, was it I think it was the session before. We were going through your guided meditation, and I've always had a feeling that I was not where I belonged. Like there was always some place I needed to
Mm.
be, but it wasn't here. Maybe that feeling was home. I'm not exactly sure, but
Here as in where you are physically right now?
yeah, I get maybe physically, emotionally, like it's just that I'm not where I should be, you know?
Right.
Coming to Vietnam, I felt definitely like I'm more towards the direction where I should be. But during that guided meditation that we did 2 sessions ago, during the height of the meditation, I just felt at peace, but not just at peace, I felt home. I
That's
felt
beautiful.
I felt at home where I was sitting, like actually, yeah, right in front of my piano. I just felt at home, and it made me think, maybe home it's not just a physical place, but it is a feeling. It's a state. Home, feeling at home is a state. It's a state of arriving spiritually. It's a state of maybe self-acceptance. It's not just physical. It's more than that. So
How do you think that experience will shape the rest of your life?
I think it will it will encourage me to look inward more than looking outward. Be like, maybe I don't have to visit all these other places to have that sense of belonging that I crave. That's not belonging to a group, but just being in the right place at the right time. Maybe it's that place is inside. So I think it's definitely going to encourage me to do more internal work, and I think that's going to add more dimensions to the outside world that I experience. I think it's going to make my life a lot richer. So yeah, I'm definitely going to look inward more and do more work inside. There's just one more thing
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to leave with all the listeners and viewers of this Facebook Live is the thing I think that really sets this course apart is just, you, Brennan, the teacher, your insistence that you're giving the students of this course the tools. You're not the guru. You're not the person with all the answers. A you're giving them a foundation and a framework and the tools to find their own answers, that to go, so that after the course ends, that they can go out and they can work on things and they can arrive at the conclusions that they need to arrive at, not the ones that you told them to. So I think that's really important, and I think that really helps whoever completes this course. It gives them a lot of confidence in moving forward with all the tools that they'll have after they finish the course. So I think that's really important.